health on the Bad Guy Show, and I have my guest,
Jacqueline.
and today we are going to talk about whatever comes up. First, let's start with Jacqueline. You have your body sculpting stuff. What got you into that?
Body sculpting, I got into it a few years ago. I used to get the services done on myself, and I loved it. So I got deeper into it. But as far as fitness, health and fitness, I go back many years.
Yeah.
I am a certified personal trainer as well. So it kind of was aligned with what I was already doing on how I can further help people reach fitness goals, health goals. So it kind of just I went into nutrition, I went into massaging, and I went into various aspects of all health and fitness.
Awesome. So when you got your certified personalist training or fitness, that kind of led you into the health and fitness, which led you into the body sculpting. Which aspect of body sculpting do you think would be recommended to help someone who's like on their fitness journey?
As far as body sculpting, the word right now is, I think, more into females trying to shape their bodies, contour their bodies a lot. But I think a lot of the times they leave out the part where you should get healthy from the inside out first. And start with lymphatic massage, a drainage, which would be a total drainage of the toxins in your body in order to achieve your best results when you're working out. And for your daily mental clarity, all of that stuff is taken care of with the lymphatic massage. And that would be my suggestion. The first and foremost, most important thing to do is the lymphatic massage.
Yeah, and as we know, there's a lot of issues with the lymph. You hear people who have is it hyper, what is this the one where they have hypothyroid issues? If they have hyperthyroid, I think they lose a lot of weight. And then hypothyroid means it's slowed down, which makes them gain a lot of weight.
Right.
And this is where nutrition comes in to help all that stuff kind of help out. And then getting a lymphatic massage and staying in the fitness will help keep your lymphatic system going, so it can help drain everything out.
Right.
Which this is why I preach a lot of nutrition. I know fitness is important. Our nutrition kind of gets our bodies to the level we want to be at, the weight that we want to be at. I think that fitness is where we turn into how we want to sculpt ourselves.
Right.
So a lot of guys, for some reason, they tend to only want to work the upper body, and they skip legs, which is, I don't know why people do that. Very popular. Don't skip leg day, bro. But for some reason they do, and I feel like they're missing out. But I enjoy the lymphatic massage. I've gotten them a couple times. I don't know how many times I've gone to you, but like my knee, I have the build up in there sometimes. You say that you can feel sometimes a tightness like in my leg. Usually my right leg seems to be my problem child.
Right.
And then after I get the massage, I try to make sure you set a gallon, try to drink like a gallon of water, or try to drink a gallon of water before, and then make sure you do like a nice little fast and drink water. I try to make it so I go to the gym so that I can end up kind of helping push through the whole lymphatic system by working out.
Right.
And usually by the evening time, I can feel my system like kind of flushing out by, of course, going to the bathroom multiple times.
Right.
As it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, that's one of the best ways, and a lot of times we forget that the food that we consume can bloat us. It could give us inflammation.
Oh yeah.
Just the environment alone will do that to you, and that's another reason why the lymphatic massages seem to kind of. I think people tend to feel lighter afterwards, and as far as the kind of like in the core, they kind of lose inches because we're kind of massaging that area, and getting rid of the inflammation, getting rid of all the toxins, kind of moving them away from your body. And that's how, when you see the before and afters, you notice such a difference. And for example, for yourself, in 3 days, you have abs. You have abs right then and there already, but you get that final definition with the edging and the wood therapy. You get that really nice definition once all that stuff is out of your body.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the results that you have where I'm like really shocked at how good they are, and I'm like, oh my god, like this person was. I think I've seen the best results coming from most of the females.
Right.
So I'll see some where it's like, you know, they're like really kind of bloated and inflamed up, and then the after picture was like, whoa, like if, you know, I don't know why a lot more women wouldn't do that to help out, because you know, that the stomach area seems to be, you know, most women's problem area. You know, they feel a little more confident if their stomachs are down.
Yeah,
And,
I think that comes from maybe the word big or fat, because automatically I think we're kind of conditioned to think that if you have a big midsection, you're considered to be fat. And that's the way we feel. Oh, we feel fat. We start, you know, messing with our love handles. Like, it's always the midsection that we think the more that we notice, the more we notice more. But I think definitely, yeah, you see it a lot in the women, and I really think it's just that's where we're a little bit less lucky than you guys.
yeah.
That's where we carry our weight. We're made to carry babies, so
Yeah.
that's where we carry our weight.
Yeah, and then the bodies, our bodies are, the women's body, female body is naturally prone to pack on more fat. And the reason why is because it's supposed to help out with the whole baby thing.
Right.
For us guys, we're not supposed to have that high body fat, but we're supposed to have some body fat. So like when you see some guys out there in the fitness and they're like, just, oh man, look at me, I'm 0% body fat. It's like, yeah, that's cool for the aesthetics, but for, you know, health wise, it's not all that great. And I remember I had a friend who from high school, well, I knew this dude from high school, and he talked about how when he ended up catching COVID, and he said that, you know, his body didn't do well, but here he is, you know, promoting how he has 3%, I have 3% body fat, you know, look at me and all that stuff, because I do this, I do that, and I do this. And I'm like, well, I'm probably around 20% body fat, maybe lower, I don't know. But when I caught COVID, my body responded well. I mean, I had sore throat, fatigue, but I didn't have to go to the hospital. He said he had to go to the hospital. He was in there for a month, and he had to be put on oxygen. So then it's like, of the two, are you more healthier because you have 3%? Or I'm more healthier because I have the normal 20%.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, okay, it's cool to be, you know, low body fat, but our bodies are not really built that way.
Yeah, if a female is even at 13%, that's already like, that's extreme for a female. But you see them nowadays going even lower than that. But health-wise, like you said, it's not healthy for us, you know.
It's not healthy, and it's like it's because the society like kind of puts people like, you know what, like this is what most people would like or would look good. It's if those people who like that or think that looks good, then, you know, those are the people who you're gonna expect to, you know, attract. But if you're at the normal healthy range, be normal and healthy, and you'll attract you know, those people that are probably the average. So
Yes, and I think that most importantly, we have to work from the inside out. That's first and foremost. I mean, just like we see with plastic surgery, some of the girls look amazing, but we kind of forget. We forget that our lymphatic system. We forget about the gym, nutrition, eating right, drinking enough water. There's so many more things that come with just looking good, and I think
100%.
society forgets a lot. An investment, let's say you get a lymphatic massage once a month, how great you're gonna feel, how much healthier you're gonna be. You're gonna be more conscious of the food choices you make, you know, as far as eating too much salt, too much sugar, all that stuff. I think that it kind of brings you back to awareness of your body and where maybe you should be, your direction every single time.
Yeah.
You don't want to come and just waste your money. You don't want to come and waste your time.
No, of course.
Right? Like you kind of you start to follow through, and then my clients come in and we get to talking about, oh, have you been to the gym? You know, and that's just a constant reminder. Like, oh yeah, I have to kind of be good the 3 days prior to seeing Jacqueline, and I have to continue to be good after, because next time I see her, she will notice, like, you know, something was off. Like, oh, you were kind of, I didn't see you for 2 weeks. Like, what were you doing? I could always tell. Yeah. I can always tell. Yeah.
And that's why one of the things that I try to preach is, well, I talk to like my kids about is a blueprint. Like if your blueprint for your health is I'm gonna eat, you know, McDonald's, In-N-Out, Carl's Jr., all this bad stuff, and then you decide that you want to go get this surgery and get this body, that the blueprint for that body is I go to the gym 5 days a week, I do this and I eat this way. You spend the thousands of dollars to get that body, but then as soon as you're done and you apply that blueprint, you know, McDonald's and all that stuff, the body that you had when you had that blueprint is going to slowly go back into what it was in the past.
Right.
So just like the same thing with the lymphatic massage, like if you're doing this and you get there, you know, it's good for now. You'll kind of get to right here, but you want to kind of do these things to keep you there or to improve. But a lot of people, they don't do that. They want that quick fix, you know. Hey, how can I, you know, get muscles real quick? Oh, take steroids. Yeah, but the steroids in the long run affects your health negatively. You want to get the surgery because I want to have, you know, bigger, you know, this and that. So it's like, okay, you get rid of that, you get this, but in the long run, you're going to end up right back where you were. And now you just spent, I don't know how much it costs, 5, 6, 7, 10 thousands of dollars just so that you can get that for a year, 2 years, year and a half, whatever, and then go back.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because we talk so much about consistency. You want to be successful, you have to be consistent. That it just never fails. That we talk about that so much, but we don't do that. And I feel like, you know, social media in general is saturated with people selling 30-day programs. They're selling 28-day programs. They're selling all these things for this amount of time of your life. And so people finish these programs, they feel great, but they're like, in their mind, they're already set up to think that it was only for those 30 days.
Yeah.
So nobody's really selling anything to teach people how to eat and how to live and how it's going to fit their lifestyle, how it's going to fit their needs. Nobody's selling anything for long term. When I started personal training, I always came in with the idea that if I'm training somebody, I'm training you and I'm coaching you, so eventually you know how to do all these things on your own.
Yeah.
So eventually you get to the point that you're like, okay, I know I shouldn't eat this. This is better for me. I know I should be working out this many days, and even if I can't work out that day, I can still. My coach used to tell me I can go out for a walk. So you have options, but you're consistently still doing it, and it becomes part of your lifestyle. For me personally, I've probably done every diet, every workout. I've taken every diet pill. I've done probably everything there is imaginable. And now I noticed when I dropped everything, I noticed that my taste changed, my palate changed, my wants changed. So now to me, when I get hungry, I don't eat junk food very, very seldomly, as far as, you know, fast food and stuff like that. But my palate completely like just goes to like, oh, some chicken and rice sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
So my wants just changed. But that happened over time, and it happened over me being consistent, over and doing the same thing over and over again, and seeing the results over and over again. That's what made me, you know, kind of love what I do. I love what I do. I love what our bodies can do. Like, I love how we can shape them. I love how we can take them to the next level, you know, with different workouts. You challenge yourself every day. That's what I love. That's what I personally love about it. But I just feel that, you know, we're not really providing that for the people that don't know. They do think, they really believe I'm going to do a 30-day program. And many of them are very successful in a 30-day program. But I see them 2 or 3 months later and they're back to their old ways because mentally it was the 30 days that they were looking at. They had one goal and they accomplished that goal, but they never set out for another one.
Yeah. And that's what, like, that's kind of like the blueprint thing, you know? And that's why for me, for exercise, when I started going to the gym, I went to the gym 30 days. I did everything, you know, I worked my chest, my triceps, biceps. I looked and I'm like, oh my God, like I look exactly the same. So I don't know what to do. And then I'm on the stairs and I see this infomercial for P90X. And I'm like, okay, what is that? If you want to get, you know, muscles and if you want to look like this, then blah, 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 and explained how muscle confusion, blah, blah, blah. First month one is this, month two is this. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to try that. I did P90X. I got the results I wanted. So now I'm like, okay, P90X is my base.
I love P90X.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so what I'll do is I'll just keep doing this program over and over again. And then sometimes I'll do the P90X and I'll start kind of doing my own thing, you know, just kind of take a break from it. Like, okay, I'll work on a little bit more on cardio now. I'll work a little bit more on legs. I want to work on my jumping, anything that's going to help me improve. Like, I love playing basketball, volleyball. So I'll do that. And then I'll be like, okay, start over on P90X. So now it's like I have the workout program already set up for me. So I have all that right there. When it comes to nutrition, that's where it actually took me a lot of research. I lost a competition back in 2016, where who can lose the most body fat. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, you know, I'm at a high level of body fat because I had graduated for respiratory, and then I gained a lot of weight. So I thought, okay, here's my chance to get myself back on track and lose the weight and win some money in this competition. Did the competition, got my ass kicked. I went from 22% body fat to 20% body fat. The guy that won went from 20% body fat to 10% body fat. How the hell did he do that? So then I remember it was my second job I went to, one of the nurses was like, oh, well, have you ever heard of the ketogenic diet? I was like, what's that? She goes, you get to have bacon. Bacon? How can you have bacon on a diet? Bacon's one of those things where, like, you can't use that to diet. So she's like, well, you get to have meat, sausage, me and my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, sounds ridiculous, but I'm gonna go ahead and do some research and look into it because, you know, check it out, something different. All of a sudden, I started doing all this research. I started getting into intermittent fasting, how the body works when you cut out the carbs, and carbs are like everywhere, sugars are everywhere. I remember going to the store and looking at stuff and thinking to myself, oh my God, everything that I like has a lot of sugar in it. I used to like the Zico coconut water, and used to make that with my protein shakes. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, I can have 40 grams of sugar. How much is in Zico? Dang, 22 grams for one serving, 2 servings in a bottle. Oh my God. Well, what about these Cliff Bars? Those are good right now. Everything had sugars and carbs. So I had to cut out so many things that I liked. And then it turned into, well, what the hell can I have? And then it just turned into you can only have real food pretty much.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'll have the real food. But I'll have something as a dessert or something every now and again. I try not to have it as much as possible because I'm one of those people that does not have a whole lot of discipline. If you had a plate of cookies right here for me, I would eat a plate of cookies right here.
Okay.
So my thing is, it's best I don't have that plate of cookies. And since I control what comes in here, it's way easier.
How do you do through the holidays or at family events where there is a lot of the food that you might be tempted to eat?
So this year was easier because I was, you know, by myself for the holidays, except for Christmas. I went with my dad. But in the past, what I do is I just go, well, I'll just go ahead and have that one day where I have whatever I want, because I know that I can do one day and still recover, you know, the next week. Make sure I don't eat bad, make sure I do a good fast while I do my workout. And that kind of helps me burn into that extra sugar. And yeah, it's, my goal was always 205 to 215. And if I'm within that range, I'm happy. So I know if I check my weight after each holiday, I'd probably be above it. But
What do you think about weight?
weight is one of those things where it's kind of offsetting, because I know that my weight can be high at times because of sometimes I'm putting on a little bit more muscle versus other times when I'm not trying to pack on more muscle. So weight is kind of, it could be kind of discouraging at times. I try to recommend people not to focus too much on the weight. I try not to. I wake up in the morning, I look at myself in the mirror and I go, all right, I'm happy with what I see, so.
Yeah, that works for me as well.
Mhm.
That works for me only because I don't eat perfect.
Mhm.
But my idea of perfect is, you know, most people would call it like unattainable,
Yeah.
but it's due to all the knowledge over the years
Mhm.
that I, in my mind, know what a perfect diet would be. Therefore, I don't consider mine, you know,
Yeah.
I don't consider it perfect. For as much as I work out, for as much as time I spend at the gym,
Mhm.
maybe people would expect my body to look a little different, but it's personal choices that we all make. It's all personal choices that we make. I'm happy with it, so if I look in the mirror and I'm happy, I'm okay with it. I don't spend hours, you know, a week looking at the and then being tortured by the number on the scale. I can't do that. I stopped doing that like a very long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's worked for me. But you know, other people they love it and that's the way they keep disciplined
Mhm.
and it works for them. So I think people in general should just find what works for you. Find what works for you and what's going to be set long term goals. And if you have a short term goal, do that and already have the next one planned.
Yeah.
And when you finish that, have the next one planned. And you'll never really fall off. You know, you won't fall off your diets or anything. You're just changing it up every single time.
Yeah. Improve on yourself.
Yeah.
Improve on that goal to the next one.
Yeah, right.
So now a gym question. What do you think of all this stuff going on where like I've only seen it online. I haven't seen it at the gym that I go to, where you'll see like women set up their tripods and then they'll record themselves and then they'll like zoom in on some guy looking at them for one moment and they're like, oh, like look at this person, he's looking at me.
Mhm.
Or how like somebody will walk across the camera and they get mad about that. Like, what's your take on that?
Hey, it's a public gym.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want people to look at you, and it goes both ways. For me, I don't even see it as a man looked at me or a woman looked at you. Where do you want them to look? They're there too, you know, they're at the gym too. And you have a whole little setup there, probably wondering what you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you know, I don't know, but it shouldn't, I don't think that it should bother anybody personally.
Yeah.
And if they walk in front of the tripod, well, like I said, it's a public gym.
Yeah.
You know, it's everybody's space. It's not one person's space. It's everybody's space.
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't bother me now.
Yeah.
At all.
Because I see that online, and sometimes I see that and they show it, they put it out there a lot, and it almost looks like it happens a lot and everywhere. So I could imagine, like, let's just say you don't go to the gym and you're like thinking about it, but you keep seeing stuff like this online, like, oh man, like these people are, you know, they're setting up their cameras and then they're getting mad at people for walking across, and it kind of creates a toxic environment to where I feel like it's making people or discouraging people from going to the gym.
Well, just like you said, if somebody's never been to a gym before,
Mhm.
and I know all this is going on, it already sounds like someplace I don't want to go.
Right.
You know, you don't. If somebody's staring at you, you don't know what they're staring at. Really, they could be staring into dead space just your way. They could be having something on, thinking of laundry. Who knows? But now you're putting it out there as if it's a bad thing, and ooh, this guy's bothering me. You know.
Yeah.
And girls don't want to go to the gym to get bothered. But I think most of the girls that come in there to work out are the least bothered by anybody looking.
Yeah.
Because we're so concentrated on what we're doing. You know what? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm concentrated on what. How am I gonna notice who's looking at me if I'm working out? You know. And besides, you know what that means? If she noticed him looking at her, that means she was looking at him too. So he might be thinking the same thing.
Well, a lot
It's
of
just
times,
silly.
yeah. Well, a lot of times, what they'll do is they'll do it like probably after they make the video. So, like, let's say that they'll show the woman, she's got her tripod set up, and then as she's getting ready to do her stuff, and then some guy in the back will like look or whatever, and then she'll like zoom in on him, and it's like she's like, oh, like, look at this guy checking me out, and it's like, in my mind, I'm like, look, we're guys, we're gonna look, as long as they're not being creeps, gym creeps, and nothing like that. They're not like, mouth wide open, drooling. It's just, part of nature. But when it comes to people watching, I do a lot of weird stuff in the gym. You'll see me doing elevated push-ups on the one of the little big balls. I have my little ramp, step on the stepper. I'm stepping off. I'm trying to balance myself and everything. The way I look at it is if somebody looks at me, I'm like, I'll just explain to them. Yeah, I do this to help out my knee or whatever. I do this because of my, my leg or whatever. I'm trying to do this, elevated push-ups. Some people look, they're just watching like, oh man, like, this dude is doing elevated push-ups and he's knocking them out in 10, 15 or whatever. To me, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what people are thinking. That's why you can't take, especially at the gym, you can't ever take anything really personal, because we're all there to do the same thing. I mean, with a short view, I'm sure, but I'm not worried about them. You know what I'm so used to looking at everybody's body and all of our bodies as like just a physique. Yours is yours, mine is mine, everybody's is everybody's. I'm non-judgmental about anything or anybody. I don't have that mentality when I go to the gym. Like, I want to go there and I want to kill it and I want to leave. So I'm not really busy looking around at anybody else. Like, that's my time. That's my time to go to the gym. It's my time to get some mental clarity. It's my time to think about things. It's my time to listen to my music. It's my time to put my body through hell, But that's what I'm there to do. So I'm not really concerned about that. But the fact that other people are doing that, I mean, I don't really like it, because the gym, I love the gym, and I don't want people to think that that's the way it always is. But hey, everybody needs to make their little videos and have a little fun, I guess.
Yeah, no, I make my videos. I like the gym because I've been going there so long now. I get up in there and I know all these people over here. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? I feel like there's an old show, Cheers, where everybody knows your name. I feel like that's me in the gym, you know. So I like it. I recommend people to go there. I say start small, work your way up. They have classes that you can take. You can learn from there, or you can get a personal trainer and then hopefully grow from there. But as long as you're growing the right direction, you should be good to go. Yeah,
it should be a friendly place. It should be as a matter of fact, this morning, I was doing hip thrust on the machine, and there's a machine right next to it. It's the same machine. It's just they have two right by each other. And I was going hard today, of course, because I knew I was going to come here, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be nervous. So anyway, so I was going hard today, and I thought I had dropped an earring. So I was like, oh my God. So I was kind of looking through it, and the lady next to me, she was like giggling and laughing, and I was like, I smiled at her back, right? And I didn't know what she was really, I thought she was laughing because I was looking for the earring. And she's like, oh, look at my small weights. I think I had quite more weight than she did.
Yeah.
And I took my headphones on and I was like, hey, I was like, you know what? I was like, that's how I get, because it's true though. Like, I was like, anytime I take some time off from the gym and I come back, I start off with low weight again. And I said, that's just the way it is. And I was like, but you know what matters is that we're here. I was like, we're here, and we were just laughing. We laughed about it, and it was really nice, because her and her friend were in a really good mood. I was in a good mood. And that's how it should be all the time. Like, it should be that way all the time. Like, I don't think people should look at other people and say, like, oh, look, they're just pushing that little bit of weight, or, oh, look at all that weight. Be concerned about what you're there to do.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it.
Definitely. I agree, I like the community. I like, there's been times when people have asked me questions, or like, I'm always doing the sled. So sometimes I'll see them doing the sled, and then I'll recommend, hey, why do you do the sled? Oh, I do the sled because I saw this. It's supposed to be good for the knees, and also if you use a little belting, it should help out and everything. Oh, there's a belt over there. Yeah, show them where it is and everything, and then they're good to go. And I love talking to people, giving them any type of advice. Like, there's a couple, husband and wife, that come in there. They've seen me so many times in the sauna. It just turned into, hey man, you're consistently here and in here and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So now every time they see me, oh man, just back at it. And then
so you really like just the whole community.
Yeah.
That's good. And you've been going to that gym for a long time.
2016.
Yeah. Well, I got you beat on that one. Yeah, but it's a lot of the same people. It is a lot of the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 gym memberships, so I see a lot of the same people everywhere, and everybody's, I've never had any issues at the gym, thank God.
Cool. Well, any final thoughts you want to give, recommendations for our viewers to how to start in the gym, I would say?
How to start at the gym? I think that people shouldn't come in there trying to do too much and do everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I think mentally, what I think has worked for a lot of people is come in there and think about it as a hobby, a new hobby you picked up. And you're there to have fun and do what you can. That's just a start, do what you can to get comfortable with the machines, you get comfortable with the people there, the atmosphere, everything. Try to stay consistent, make it like part of your job for the day.
Yeah. Like
on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, that I'm going to the gym and go to the gym. Yeah. I think that's the best thing to do. Don't think about it as a hard place, like you're gonna be. I think people come into the gym sometimes when they're fairly new, as a personal trainer, like I know, like they're intimidated already by all the machines, by all these people, looking fantastic, doing all these wonderful, crazy things at the gym. And so I think people get intimidated a lot when they first come in. But if you take little steps, not trying to do too much, everybody started somewhere. Yeah. Everybody started somewhere. I remember at 13 years old, my mom used to take me to her aerobics classes. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know anything then, but it put in the little seed to where it became something that I love. Yeah. And now it's my time. Now it's like, I don't usually work out with anybody, but I like it. And then there's other times I really enjoy working out with my best friend. And there's times that are not, but for the most part, I like working out alone. I really do. Cool.
I agree. My thing is, if you want to start, I would say start with something cardio. If you do cardio, I like to distract myself. I like to put on YouTube videos. So if you ever go into the gym and you see me on the elliptical and you see me staring at my phone, it's because I'm watching a video and then I'm just listening to it as I'm going. And then I work on the resistance, increase it here, increase it there, decrease it. And then, that's how I distract myself from cardio. And it helps me to get through that easily.
I watch a lot of motivational stuff, a lot of like Joe Rogan, try to listen to a lot of other podcasts that, kind of just fuel my mind with like fire, like go get it. Like, you got this, like the kind of things that work for other people. I love listening to that. The things where people fail, I love listening to that kind of stuff. So I like listening to podcasts, not motivational ones most of the time when I'm on the treadmill, if I'm on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty then. I guess that'll be the conclusion of our show for today. Thank you all for watching. I'm Daniel on the Quest for Health, because health is important always. And it was Jacqueline.
With Body Sculpt by Jacqueline.
We'll link the stuff so that you can schedule an appointment or contact her. Thank you very much.